Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is one of the most genuinely exciting countdowns we have put together, because today we are not limiting ourselves to a single brand, a single country of manufacture, or a single price bracket. Today we are asking one clean, honest question across the entire landscape of automatic watchmaking, from Swiss precision to Japanese engineering excellence, from entry-level icons to mid-tier masterpieces. Which 10 mechanical watches deliver the greatest value, the greatest wearing satisfaction, and the greatest reason to reach for them every morning? The answers span 5 countries, 5 decades of design inspiration, and a price range from under $200 to over $2,000. And every single one of them belongs on a serious wrist. Let's count them down. Number 10. Omega Seamaster Diver. 300M opening our list. At number 10 is the watch that has spent 3 decades as the gold standard of the Swiss luxury dive watch, the Omega Seamaster Diver 300M. When Omega introduced the modern Seamaster Diver in 1993, they had already produced professional diving instruments for decades. But the new generation brought a design cohesion and a cultural visibility, accelerated dramatically by its adoption as the watch of choice for a certain fictional British intelligence officer that transformed it into one of the most recognized timepieces on the planet. The current generation Seamaster Diver 300M, powered by Omega's coaxial master chronometer, caliber 8800, is technically in a different league from its predecessors. METIS certified to the highest Swiss standard for precision and magnetic resistance, with a 55-hour power reserve, a ceramic dial and bezel, sapphire crystal on both sides of the case, and 300 meters of water resistance for genuine professional diving use. The wave pattern dial, one of the most distinctive design signatures in all of dive watch history, is finished with a depth and texture that justifies every penny of its position in the Omega catalog. At its price point, it faces serious competition. It answers every challenge. The Omega Seamaster Diver 300mm retails from approximately $5,700 to $6,800 USD. Number 9. Tudor Black Bay 58. The Tudor Black Bay 58 is the watch that permanently settled an argument. When it launched in 2018, a significant portion of the watch community was prepared to be skeptical. Another vintage-inspired dive watch from a brand that was already producing vintage-inspired dive watches. What arrived instead was something that silenced the skeptics immediately. A 39mm case that fits virtually every wrist size with effortless proportional correctness, a depth of dial finishing that exceeded all expectations at its price point, and a caliber, Tudor's in-house MT5402, that carries COSC chronometer certification and a 70-hour power reserve, matching or exceeding Swiss competitors at double the price. The Black Bay 58 draws its design vocabulary from Tudor's 1958 reference 7924, the first Tudor diver rated to 200 meters, and the translation from vintage reference to modern wearable is handled with a fidelity and restraint that reflects genuine design intelligence. The gilt dial variants, black with gold text and a warm tone that photographs cannot fully capture, have become among the most beloved watch aesthetics of the current era. The Black Bay 58 is the answer for the buyer who wants Swiss manufacture credentials, in-house movement quality, and genuine horological heritage without the waiting lists and premiums of its parent company. The Tudor Black Bay 58 retails for approximately $3,400 to $3,800 USD. Number 8. Longines HydroConquest Automatic. The Longines HydroConquest Automatic is the Swiss dive watch that the watch community consistently recommends to buyers who want genuine Swiss manufacture quality, genuine dive watch specifications, and a price that leaves room in the budget for everything else. Longines has been producing precision timepieces in Saint-Imier since 1832, one of the oldest continuous watchmaking legacies in the entire Swiss industry. And the HydroConquest channels that heritage into a contemporary sport watch package with serious credentials. The automatic movement at its heart, in recent generations featuring Longines' own L888 caliber with its silicon escapement and 72-hour power reserve, provides the kind of regulated precision and magnetic resistance that represents a genuine engineering step forward over conventional lever and balance wheel movements. 300 meters of water resistance, a unidirectional ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, and a solid stainless steel construction on bracelet or rubber strap give the HydroConquest everything a working dive watch requires. The dial finishing and case proportions reflect a brand that considers aesthetics as seriously as specification. And the result is a dive watch that reads as considerably more expensive than it is, which remains Longines' consistent superpower at its price point. The Longines HydroConquest automatic retails from approximately $1,200 $1,600 USD. Number 7. Mido Ocean Star Tribute. The Mido Ocean Star Tribute earns its place on this list through one of the most compelling value arguments in Swiss watchmaking: a case, a movement, and a finishing standard that, when evaluated dispassionately against the price tag, produces a number that genuinely does not compute. Mido is a brand within the Swatch Group that benefits from access to ETA movement technology and Swiss supply chain infrastructure while maintaining a price positioning that places it within reach of buyers who might otherwise settle for non-Swiss alternatives. The Ocean Star Tribute pays homage to Mido's diving heritage from the 1960s, a decade when the brand was producing professional instruments for serious underwater use, with a cushion case silhouette that is both vintage in inspiration and completely wearable in contemporary context. The Caliber 80 automatic movement inside, delivering a full 80-hour power reserve, silicone hairspring for magnetic resistance, and cost-level regulation in select configurations, represents a movement specification that watches at twice and 3 times the price routinely fail to match. The sunburst dials, the applied markers, the case and bracelet finishing, all executed at a standard that consistently impresses professional reviewers who expect to find corners cut. For Swiss automatic quality at a price that requires no justification, the Mido Ocean Star Tribute is simply one of the best watches money can buy in its range. The Mido Ocean Star Tribute retails for approximately $750 $950 USD. Number 6. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time, SRPB43. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB43 is the watch that reminds you, emphatically, that Japan produces dress watches of extraordinary refinement, and that refinement does not require a Swiss address or a European premium. The Cocktail Time line draws its design inspiration from the world of classic cocktail culture, with dials crafted to evoke the visual experience of drinks seen through cut crystal glassware. The play of light through ice, the gradient colors of layered liquors, the shimmer of a glass raised in candlelight. The SRPB43's blue-toned sunburst dial with its radial brushing catches the light with exactly that character. It shifts between deep midnight and brilliant azure depending on the angle, and the overall effect is genuinely mesmerizing in a way that photographs consistently fail to communicate. Beneath the dial beats Seiko's 4R35 automatic caliber with hand winding and hacking, reliable, proven, appropriate for the price, while the 38mm stainless steel case with its domed crystal and dress watch proportions give the watch a silhouette that complements formal and smart casual wear with equal success. The Cocktail Time is the proof that Seiko's dial craftsmanship, developed over generations of in-house manufacturing, produces results that Geneva would be proud to claim. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB43 retails for approximately $200 USD. Number 5. Citizen Series 8870 Mechanical. The Citizen Series 8870 Mechanical is the watch that serious collectors reach for when they want to demonstrate what Japanese mechanical watchmaking looks like when it operates without compromise. Named for 1918, the year of Citizen's founding, the Series 8 program represents the manufacturer's most focused and ambitious effort in mechanical horology, and the 870 caliber at its heart is the clearest expression of what that ambition produces. The NH8000 series movement, beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and delivering 40 hours of power reserve, drives a seconds hand of exceptional smoothness, a quality that reveals movement regulation and assembly precision in a way that more leisurely beating calibers cannot. The case and bracelet finishing is where the Series 8870 earns its position on this list. The alternating satin and mirror polish surfaces, the precisely machined bracelet links, and the cohesive integration between case and bracelet architecture reflect the kind of finishing investment that Swiss manufacturers at considerably higher price points would use as a key selling point. Available in classic round and distinctive angular case geometries, the Series 8870 is a watch that rewards close examination and repays daily wearing with a wearing experience that simply outclasses the competition at its price. The Citizen Series 8870 mechanical retails for approximately $400–650 USD. Number 4. Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical Auto. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical Automatic is a watch that carries more genuine heritage than its modest price tag suggests, and understanding that heritage is the key to understanding why this watch belongs at number 4 on a list of the best automatics across every budget. Hamilton Watch Company has been producing field watches with authentic military procurement credentials since the Second World War. Watches issued to United States Armed Forces for operational use, worn in conditions that destroyed lesser instruments, and trusted with the timekeeping that mattered in the most consequential theater of the 20th century. The Khaki field carries that lineage forward in every design detail. The bold Arabic numerals, the cathedral or sword hands with generous lume application, the highly legible Mati dial, the no-nonsense case that prioritizes functionality over adornment. The ETA 2824.2 automatic movement inside, one of the most proven, most serviced, and most trusted calibers in the Swiss industry, provides 40 hours of power reserve with a reliability record established over decades of deployment in everything from dress watches to professional instruments. At its price point, the combination of genuine military heritage, Swiss manufacture movement, and a design that has never needed revision, because it was right the first time, makes the Khaki field one of the most honest value propositions in the watch world. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical Auto retails for approximately $495–$595 USD. Number 3. Tissot Gentleman Powermatic 80. The Tissot Gentleman Powermatic 80 is the Swiss dress watch that the watch world needed. A beautifully proportioned, meticulously finished automatic timepiece that occupies the specific gap between competent, affordable watches and genuinely expensive Swiss luxury, and fills it so convincingly that buyers on both sides of that gap find themselves looking at it seriously. Tissot's Powermatic 80 movement is one of the great stories in accessible Swiss watchmaking. A silicon balance spring providing extraordinary resistance to magnetic interference, an 80-hour power reserve that places it ahead of movements costing dramatically more, and COSC chronometer certification on select configurations, all delivered at a price that makes the Powermatic 80 the default recommendation for anyone asking what the best affordable Swiss automatic movement looks like. In the gentleman case, that movement is paired with a 40mm stainless steel housing of elegant proportion, a smooth bezel, and dial options, including stunning blue and silver sunburst variants, finished with applied logo and luminous hands that speak to a level of craft execution Tissot's price point has no obligation to provide and consistently does anyway. On a leather strap or a metal bracelet, the Gentleman Powermatic 80 is the Swiss dress watch that punches so far above its price class that recommending anything else in its range requires genuine justification. The Tissot Gentleman Powermatic 80 retails for approximately $550–$750 USD. Number 2. Orient Kamasu. The Orient Kamasu at number 2 is the definitive answer to the question every first-time automatic buyer eventually asks, what is the best automatic watch I can buy without spending a fortune? The Kamasu is Orient's flagship affordable dive watch, a 200-meter water-resistant automatic with a unidirectional rotating bezel, a genuine in-house Orient caliber, and a range of sunburst dial colorways, so visually arresting that the watch regularly draws compliments from people who own watches that cost 20 times as much. The in-house F6922 automatic movement, providing hand-winding, hacking seconds, and a reliable 40-plus hour power reserve, is the detail that elevates the Kamasu above similarly priced competitors using licensed or generic movements. Orient, as a subsidiary of Seiko Epson, has been manufacturing its own calibers for decades, and that vertical integration delivers both quality control and a fundamental authenticity that brand-name cases containing generic movements cannot claim. The sunburst blue in particular, shifting between deep sapphire and brilliant azure depending on the light, is one of the most beautiful dials available at any price in this category, produced to a standard of lacquering and finishing that demonstrates Orient's genuine manufacturing capability. The Kamasu is the automatic watch that proves the price of entry to mechanical excellence is lower than the market wants you to believe. The Orient Kamasu retails for approximately $175–$230 USD. Number 1. Seiko 5 Sports SRPD55. At the top of today's list sits a watch that has earned the number 1 position through the most democratic and convincing of all possible arguments. It is the automatic watch that more people buy, love, wear, and recommend than any other reference in its category, and the reason is simple, direct, and entirely repeatable on every wrist that tries one. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD55, known universally and affectionately among collectors as the Turtle reissue or the SRPE series Sports Seiko, is the watch that defines what the Seiko 5 Sports platform is capable of when Seiko decides to lead with design as confidently as it leads with engineering. The cushion-shaped case, a silhouette borrowed from Seiko's legendary 6309 professional diver of the 1970s, wears with a comfort and wrist presence that conventional round cases simply cannot replicate. The deep, rich dial in a range of compelling colorways, blue, green, black, and beyond, pairs with the distinctive applied hour markers and bold hands to create a dial of genuine personality and character. Inside beats the NH36 automatic caliber, 21 joules, hand-winding hacking seconds, 41-hour power reserve. The workhorse movement that Seiko has deployed across tens of millions of watches because it is proven, repairable, and capable of lasting decades with basic maintenance. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD55 is not the most technically advanced watch on this list, the most expensively finished, or the most complicated. It is the most joyful, the watch that makes you smile every time you look at it, that earns compliments from strangers, that holds its own in any company, and that costs so little to own that the only question is why you waited. That combination, joy, quality, value, and wearability, is what the #1 spot on any honest watch list should reward. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD55 retails for approximately $260 USD.